Maayong hapon. Okay lang magbisaya? Nakasmile sila. Bitaw ka, we are in Cebu. So, ang switch mode na po is Bisaya. Okay lang? Ha? French? Okay. Yes, I saw that in the program that I am the CEO of PCF. I'm handling the portfolio of HRD for PCF, and so far there was never been a discussion that Butch will be replaced. Maybe when she retires. It's okay. Sige. We heard about the primary cooperative from Sir Romy, and earlier on we heard Dr. Ben discussing the SSE, and then there was from Alter Trade, and then from TSKI. Now, my role here is to present the experience of Visayas in terms of solidarity enterprises with the cooperatives, having two federations in the Visayas. We have Victo and PCF. So let me start first with the definition of what a cooperative is. Yeah. A cooperative, in simple words, is a business organization pursuing social objectives, organized by persons. It is an autonomous association of persons united voluntarily to meet their common economic, social, and cultural needs and aspirations through a jointly owned and democratically controlled enterprise. This is the definition by ICA. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, being the cooperative movement, it is a multi-balancing act. The cooperative is anchored on co-op values and principles. We have 7 universal principles: open and voluntary membership, walay puksanay, democratic member control, meaning one member, one vote, and no proxy voting, member economic participation, autonomy and independence, the lesser government intervention, the betterer. Education, training, and information, Butch mentioned this earlier this morning, that it is mandated that portion of the income of the cooperative goes to cooperative education and training. So that's where probably we can inculcate education to the members, to the primary cooperatives and the members of the cooperative regarding the SSE. Okay. Cooperation among cooperatives. Okay, they say no man is an island. Okay, and then concern for community. For the cooperative values, we have self-help. We help others to help themselves. Self-responsibility, and then democracy, equality, meaning we treat similar situations, similar treatment. Okay. Equity and solidarity. We also have ethical values: honesty, openness, social responsibility, and caring for others. So that's the core of being a cooperative. If SSE has 3 BLs, the bottom lines, cooperative in the country has 4 Ps: people, prosperity, planet, and peace. Pare-pareho lang. But then, the overall, the red line, it is, we are strong on co-op good governance. Okay? Next slide, please. Victo and PCF. Kinsay bright, kinsay nakahibalo unsa ning Victo. Aside from the representative from Victo. Trip to Hong Kong, Hongkera Street. Trip to Ayala. Okay. VICTO stands for Visayas Cooperative Development Center. It was organized in 1970, and PCF was still part of VICTO. PCF stands for Philippine Cooperative Central Fund Federation. So allow me to bring you to the beginning of VICTO and PCF. Though nag-start ni siya 1960, pero wapasag ko natawaan ni in the 60s. 80s naman ko. Okay. The roots of VICTO and PCF run deep in keeping the co-op fire burning. So the situation is, in the 60s, there was a high poverty incidence, especially in the agricultural towns in southern Leyte. At that time also, there were Canadian missionary priests nagparun o program Saving Souls the Cooperative Way. So that's bringing the experience of the antagonist movement. Kung mangutana mo sa ning antagonist movement, you can go to Mr. Google. Okay, it will take another 1 hour if I discuss this. Basically, Saving Souls the Cooperative Way is an expression or organization of co-ops as basic Christian community. So basically, ang co-op nag-start parish-based. Okay? And then the reality sets in nga ang mga pari at the time, di ba, i-relocate mo na sila? I-reassign. Until now, ang kanang mga secular priests, they will be reassigned every 5 years. So at that time, they developed co-op promoters and educators. And then later on, they saw the need to sustain the efforts, so na-organize ang VICTO to share the dream and spreading the co-op gospel, saving souls the cooperative way. I heard earlier nga nag-ingon ta nga there's a cycle of misery. So let's change the mindset, let's call it a cycle of hope. There's hope as long as we live, and the gospel should be hope for a better life anchored in Christian values. That's converting misery into a cycle of hope. And in hope, there is faith. Kinsay nakaila ni Sir Chief? Who knows Sir Chief? The girls, ladies, you know Sir Chief? Ay, hasta mga lalaki. Ni yes. Di ba ningon si Sir Chief sa iyang papa, have faith, not trust? Because trust requires proof. Wa sila kakita nami nga episode. Absent si Butcha ni Koan. Ni katawa kay na-touched. Sige, let me proceed. In the 80s and onwards, formation of co-ops along sectoral groupings from producers to consumers happened. Not a fishing sector, there's urban poor, so connecting the producer and the consumers. And then there's the agri-based, and then the private and public employees, the community type co-ops. And initiatives, next slide please. Initiatives directed to address social development concerns in cooperatives through the following formations. We have Visayas Cooperative Gender Conference, empowering women. And under that, naatay project di ay in Region 8, we call that RUMIP, the Rural Microenterprise Promotion Program. And there is a substantial there is evident participation of women in co-op leadership and governance. Kaya nanay mga board and officers who sits in the board, women sitting in the board, and other managers like me. Okay. CEO like Butch. And then there's Amen. If there is women empowerment, there is a men. Association of Men, Asia day. Asia Men Empowerment Network. If there are battered women, there are also battered chicken. But naman sa kunoy nga battered husbands and battered men. So, these are para dili unfair tawagon nga ang women lang ang gi-empower. But gipagawas pod nga there are also men nga dapat sa i-empower. So that's a balancing act. And then youth and youth and gender, the youth net. In fact, our primary cooperatives ni-adopt na nga sa board nila, they have youth representatives. And gi-appeal sad ang elderly. Kay the elders have the wisdom, the youth have the fun. And then there's health. Sa health naman, we have maternal and child health care in partnership with Fildra. And then there's the SHE in Region 8 right now. That's social health enterprises. And there's environment. Remind ko ani ni Joe, the representative from Victo, that Victo has had integrated pest management in NTK and Capiz. And then we are also a convener of Worldwide Co-op Development Education, or DEs, that runs annually, and we call ourselves the PHDE. There are around almost 200 graduates from this international course. It started in 2005, and along with this, we are carrying the different developmental agenda that should be trickled down to the primary cooperatives, like employment, health, a lot of developmental agenda, the 4 Ps in general. And aside from that, we are very active in policy advocacy. We attempted 2 years ago, we attempted to join the party list called Ang Bisaya to bring more voice for the cooperative movement. Kaya na naman ang Co-op Natco and ating Co-op at the time. We also lobby for a friendlier co-op law when the RA 9520 was still in process. Okay, next slide please. Victo and PCF initiated trading with the production co-ops and consumer co-ops for inter-co-op trading. So on the screen, the different logo. We have our store that is supposedly a brand name for a sari-sari store intended for the members of the cooperative. And we have Mugna sa Bisaya. Mugna sa Bisaya is made in Bisaya. Made by Bisaya. Ngan po Bisaya, betaw. These are products from the members of the cooperative or the cooperative that we market to other institutions, bringing them, meaning linking the cooperative to the market. It could be outside the country or local. So we participated in trade fairs and bringing the products to some hotels. And as for now, this particular initiative is being stopped as it is right now. Yes. And we also have Alternativo. So Alternativo is a tour agency or travel agency, right? Travel agency that includes immersion to communities. Okay? Like, for instance, we have Lama Cooperative nga nanasad sila ilahang resort, the hidden resort Hidden Valley Resort, and then we have also one resort in Jensen, okay, Sorala in Ictus. Okay, and then we have Co-op Centrum. This reminds me of the comment of a gentleman earlier on that we need to bringing competing with the supermarket. This Co-op Centrum is a federation of cooperative also, meaning there were 30 cooperatives who invested in this endeavor. We set up a supermarket with an initial capitalization of around 30 million. And I should say this is a limited success because the incorporators and the investors of Co-op Centrum decided to stop the supermarket operations way back in 2012, primarily because of competition. We cannot compete against SM. We cannot compete against the local, like the Gaisanos and everything, though we were able to get good leverage because of supposed to be the volume, because the target was to, there are around 20,000 members in the export processing zone in Mactan. That was the basis for setting up the supermarket. But then there were other factors that did not came true with basis on the business plan that we had and the feasibility studies. We were bleeding actually at that time. We were renting a very big space that cost us around 300,000 a month just to rent the space. So dato ang co-op, lots of resources. So the incorporators and the investors of Co-op Centrum stopped the supermarket operations, but the concept is still there, and the leaders of Co-op Centrum still believe that we can still find other means to serve to keep the concept of Centrum alive. So right now we are back on the drawing stage on how are we going to proceed with these initiatives. As you can see, the federation has its failures. We have limited success, but we are not ashamed of the failures. It has kept us moving forward and keeping us alive to keep the cooperative gospel moving. Sige. Next. Here. So in 1978, nataw na si Butch Ani of the Cooperative Interlending Fund System was formed to respond to the credit needs of the cooperative. It is founded on the sixth principle of cooperative, the cooperation among cooperatives, and now this is called the Philippine Cooperative Central Fund Federation, or PCF. It used to be called the Visayas Cooperative Central Fund Federation. Next slide. So this is the story of PCF. Malay music. So at that time in 1978, the scenario is the co-op will deposit to the bank, di ba? Kung ang co-op may kwarta, may pera, so of course, the co-op will deposit it to the bank. But when the co-op needs money or manghiram sa bangko, at that time, co-ops are not bankable. So they said no. Always no to co-op. Okay? So the response is there are 4 cooperatives: Cebu CFI, Cebu People's Co-op, Guadalupe Co-op, and Cordova Co-op, which contributed 5,000 each. So that means a total capitalization of 20. Initial capitalization of 20,000 2000, it was still part of Victo, administered by Victo. And then when a certain co, for example, Cordova needs 20, so yung 20, yung initial fund, gagamitin ni Cordova. When Cordova paid it, so Guadalupe will use it. And then that has revolved until today. The PCF has almost 250 members who are cooperatives. From 20,000, we are now 437 million in assets. So at the time, we were called Cooperative Interlending Fund, and naging Visayas Co-op Central Fund, and then it was later on spun off in 1997 and registered with CDA in 1988, and then we changed the name to PCF from being a Visayas Federation. We now covers the entire country. We are now a national federation of cooperative. So PCF is a credit union among cooperatives. Okay, for the developmental framework of PCF, it works like just a cooperative. There's the member co-ops invest or puts capital in terms of share capital and equity, and then deposits, cash on call deposits, time deposits. And then PCF has the following programs for the cooperatives and the members of the cooperative. We have Coop, Best Step, Livelihood Development Program for OFWs. We have Pwede Program. Pwede Program is for the persons with disabilities. We have Co-op Housing Equity Financing. And then PCF has other partners, other co-op federations, international partners like Rabobank, other NGOs, and then FSSI, and then we also have strong linkage and relationship with other government agencies. Basically, PCF is a financing institution for cooperatives that delivers finance products, investments, and loans to co-ops with the end in mind nga ma-develop ang members of the primary cooperative. Okay. So these are the programs for member co-ops. Co-op Operations Program for Enhancement, that's Coop. It enhances operating management capacities of cooperatives, in particular their savings and credit operations. And we do assist co-ops who are distressed in terms of providing financial services to their members, enhancing their system, enhancing their internal control, and mentoring the management team of a co-op. And then we have also joint PC, that's primary co-op, and PCF branching. We also have microfinance implementation. So for business enterprises, that's the best step. Business enterprise support for total entrepreneurship program. It is a financing support for startup and business expansion for individual members of PCF member cooperatives. So we do assist also individual members, not just the primary cooperative. And then we also have the LDPO program for the OFWs. This is a partnership program with OWA to provide financing support for livelihood enterprise projects to OFWs and families. It is a reality that families of OFW, kung ma-end na ang contract sa OFW, unsay mahitabo? Ha? Maghanap ng ibang contract. Kaya wala nang pera si Mr. or si Mrs. And then, so that's why this explains the kind of partnership with OWA. And then we also have persons with disabilities in entrepreneurship, the Pwede program. It is a pilot partnership program with Rabobank Foundation that provides livelihood financing for PWD families including enterprise training. So, at one time I asked Butch, pwede ba kung mag-avail ng pwede? Kasi qualified ako eh. Okay. We also have Co-op Housing Equity Financing. This is for co-op housing projects. And the latest is the Co-op Credit Information System, the I'm Co-op. This is a service that PCF is providing to all cooperatives in compliance to RA 9510. Giving credit information to sharing of credit information within the network and of course to the other finance market players. Okay. We'll share some photos. San Miguel Multipurpose Cooperative in Hindang Leyte is under our Coop program. And the second picture is a hearing impaired. Ano siya? And then, ang iyahang business is oregano wine. Family business. Yes. Okay, okay. Oregano wine. And then, this is Abra Vegetable Seed Growers Development Cooperative. They're into seeds growing, seeds production. They're produced like the squash. Ang market they sell their produce to east-west seeds. Huh? More like East-West Bank, East-West Seeds, Philippines. Okay, so what they're selling are the seeds, not the meat of the vegetables. Okay, and this one is in Davao Oriental, the Cacofinco. This is organizational development project in partnership also with Rabobank. And lately, FSSI is supporting this for the cacao production. And Cacofinco is looking at for sustainable community enterprise. The service that we provide, the assistance that we provide, PCF provided to the cooperative, is enhancing the organizational capability, knowledge and skills, as well as business development skills of Cacofinco towards productivity enhancement of coconut farming households. So, daming services provide. In fact, my entrepreneurship development, my business planning. They did their own business plan for the Coco Choir. They have strategic planning. So, reviving them to become very sustainable. Their services are direct Copra marketing, nice savings and credit, microfinance, and they have Coco Choir and livelihood trainings. Okay. That's still Cacofinco. That's still the Cacofinco. And PCF, as part of their 15th anniversary. And my medical mission. And then that's in Region 6. There's enterprise in 2013, and we also have this Adapt an Ecosystem program, that's Babatngon Kalikasan Habitat Adaptation and Wellness, the Bakhaw program of PCF in Region 8. Okay. Learnings and lessons, thoughts and reflections from the more than 40 years of existence of VICTO and PCF. The reason for being are the cooperatives it is serving, and at the same time, the reason for being for the cooperatives are their members. Enduring success results from multifaceted roots. To be a true movement, it must generate their own power from within. And we are happy to inform you guys that the concept of big brother and small brother here in the Visayas is very strong. So we are helping small cooperatives to become sustainable. This is our way of expressing that there is life, there is better life in the co-op. And we are value-based. We are anchored in co-op values plus the Christian values. There's a solid culture within the co-op and the sense of belongingness. There's a different kind of belongingness once you're in the cooperative. We had a paradigm shift that happened in the 90s. We are already membership driven, meaning our programs are defined by the members. Because prior to the 90s, ang Secretariat, ang Victo, ang PCF, ang mag-decide what programs ang dapat ibigay to the cooperatives. Now, there's a shift. The members dictates based on their needs. Okay. And inclusive growth. No one is left behind in the development of the cooperative. If the cooperative or if PCF is now 400 million, dapat yung mga members ng PCF more than 400 million. And if the primary cooperative is 100 million, dapat din yung members, the individual members, dapat din nag-increase yung income. Because at the level of the primary cooperative, we want to see the members, we want them to graduate from being a member borrower kasi di ba yun naman ang orientation natin if we join the cooperative. We borrow money. We need the cooperative because we want to borrow. Now the basic or the core purpose now for the cooperative, primary cooperative, is to graduate this individual member from a borrower to a depositor, from a depositor to an entrepreneur, at the same time, an investor. So we are creating that. We are empowering that. It's a difficult and an uphill challenge from us. So, and then members should feel the benefits of growth. Mo na giingon na mo dire kung madato ang co-op, dapat ang mga members madato pod. Dili malumos sa utang. Translate. Gets niyo? Ha? Konti lang? Assignment na. You'll have to give me the answer tomorrow. My price. 1 kilong lechon. Ha? Ha? Organic. Binyagan natin ng organic. Okay. So, in ending, we would like to share this to you, the desired co-op network here in the Visayas. So we know for a fact that the members of the primary cooperative societies are individuals. And then, from that, we want to see a strong finance intermediation. That's PCF, the supplier of funds. And aside from being a supplier of funds, it should also target the 4 Ps. Okay? And then there's another pillar for market and retail federation. There's Co-op Training Institute, which is VICTO, and then other social development formation. For now, the strong pillars are PCF and VICTO. The Co-op Centrum, we're still working on it. And another pillar is under construction. Okay, that's the co-op network that we are right now in the Visayas. And we are trying to spread our wings nationally. And by spreading our wings nationally, we are closely coordinating also with government agencies, LGUs, and especially with the Cooperative Development Authority. And we are also very thankful with the CDA having been very supportive, the current administration, to the cooperative development and with the financial standards, the social audit, and the performance standards that they are requiring from the cooperative sector has helped us a lot. Thank you and good afternoon.